A recent study looked at the NCAA demographics database, and in 2021, it says that only 14% of Division I college athletic directors are women. And when you look at the numbers of Black women, the numbers are even more disheartening. As you might expect, HBCUs account for about 36% of women hired as athletic directors. And joining us now is Dr. Emerald Fulmore, who's working to change those numbers with her organization and get more Black women into administrative positions in college athletics. Dr. Fulmore, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Hayes, for having me.
Absolutely. Well, let's get right into it. I saw a study in a review of college hires at the athletic director position in 2021, 17 hires over the course of 4 months, only 2 women, neither of those African-American women. What is the barrier to entry for the administrative positions? Because we know there are so many great jobs behind the scenes in college sports.
Yes, well, of course, the barriers to entry are allowing or just giving us the opportunities as women of color to get into those leadership roles. It's always been those talks that's on the table for when I was an administrator in athletics. That was my ultimate goal, was to be an athletic director. So a lot of my colleagues that look like myself, we've always had those goals and aspirations of being an athletic director. But again, those barriers to entry, will we have someone supporting us, mentoring us, getting us into those roles? The NCAA, of course, they have their diversity and inclusion statement. They have individuals who have been working towards those efforts, but those efforts have been a slow, steady climb. So really just having those networks and those groups of individuals that we can really support each other, that's really been our only outlet. So having those barriers in terms of not having those connections with like the PWIs or individuals that did not look like us, that has been our hardest obstacle with gaining those roles within any institution, becoming an athletic director. So we have really tried to put one foot before the other to really see how can we navigate this arena in sports to become an athletic director, or even more leadership roles with coming either conference commissioners. There's a lot of opportunities out there for us, but how can we gain those opportunities?
Yeah. Talking about Title IX, we're coming up on the 50th anniversary. A lot of events and gatherings are happening and people still discussing the benefits of Title IX. But for African-American women, we've kind of lagged behind when it comes to the gains that Title IX has made. I saw a stat that said, even for female athletes, Black women we're still not seeing numbers that should be represented across the board.
Yes, and you're absolutely correct, because when you look at the institutions such as our PWIs, the revenue generating sports, the majority of our athletes and student athletes are African American or student athletes of color. So that's why I have taken the passion and my dedication to having our student athletes, the women of color specifically, if you are in those roles already, how can we navigate and get you into those administrative roles? Because you have the experience, you have the knowledge in terms of being in the collegiate setting already. How can you apply that to an administrative role within athletics? Because we have the numbers, but we just don't have the numbers on the administrative side and moving up to leadership roles.
Yeah, I played college football at Howard University, as you know, and I have some friends, I have some friends that have gone into coaching.
Yes.
And one of my old college roommates was coaching at a predominantly white institution, went to the HBCUs, and now he says he's stuck. He believes that, that's kind of, it is not an experience that others see value in. And now we need great coaches like him and people who care like him at our HBCUs, because Lord knows how much of a difference my coach made in my life. But at the same time, we should be able to strive for higher opportunity, because the money is very different coaching at an HBCU and coaching at a
Most definitely. Yeah, because when you look at those contracts that coaches are receiving on those Big Ten conferences compared to the HBCU institutions, The numbers are staggering. You would have to be like your Deion Sanders to see like, okay, any gains or that the contract would be actually worth it. So and then also you look at the division levels as well. So Division 2 compared to Division 1 or Division 3 compared to Division 2. There's always going to be a disparity in the monetary difference in terms of what salaries look like and in terms of salary gaps from position to position, or also for the roles, because women in coaching versus the women in coaching on PWI level, the contracts look very different, but also look very different from our male counterparts as well.
Sure. Tell me about Empower with Purpose, your mission to get more Black women involved in administrative roles. And as we mentioned, there's so many great positions behind the scenes in college sports, and great jobs, careers, excuse me.
Yes. So Empower with Purpose is an initiative and business and nonprofit that I'm going to probably migrate over to a full-time business within the next few months. But this came to me in terms of me being in that administrative role and how others have empowered me to really take the roles that I've acquired in collegiate sports to take it to the next level. So I'm looking at partnering with all of the colleagues that I've had connections with. I'm just bridging that gap for as making them mentors for some of the students that I've been working with. Also with my faculty background, working with sports management students, how I can recruit and bring more women of color into the university to really dive into those administrative roles. So I've been doing some speaking engagements. I have a conference coming up soon. Actually, it's coming up this week in Atlanta, Georgia, the Student Athletes Unite Conference. Young lady named by Classy James. She's the actual founder of the Student Unite Conference, and she has done a phenomenal job. So she asked me to be on the panel in terms of talking about entrepreneurship, business, talking about sports, because it's going to be an amazing event, because I will actually get to tap back into our student athlete base, tap into those entrepreneurs who have a student athlete background or just a sport background. So Empower with Purpose has really been put in place to really create and navigate this arena of sports for our women of color, so that they can have that outlet, so that I can put them in contact and have networking events, and then actually have those opportunities to get into those leadership positions, no matter whether it's amateur or professional, collegiate, the like. We're looking at everything that we can possibly find to open up those doors for women of color.
You know, and it's interesting too, as we have this conversation, I'm thinking of the social justice aspect of this, right? Because of the money that is involved with college sports and professional sports, and yet we seem to get pushed to the side. I mean, NIL deals, when you think about that, yeah. I'm sure that if we looked at the numbers right now from the last year and a half or so of NIL deals, the lion's share is going to be at the Power 5 conferences and the HBCUs. While we're getting some crumbs, it's still the same thing when it comes to equity. So I applaud what you're doing. Tell folks how they can find out more about the Empowerment Conference coming up.
Yes, so the Empowerment, the Student Athletes Unite Conference, you can actually go to Shakeout LLC, but you can go to their website. I actually have it in my bio as well on Instagram. You can go to Dr. Emerald Fulmore on IG, or you can go to my website as well with www.dremeraldfulmore.com. I will actually be doing a posting there for the conference also, and I'll also be sharing some information on there in terms of connecting with those administrators who will be attending. I'm going to do a lot of networking so that I can build my Rolodex as well for those that I connect with, in addition to sharing that with those that I come in contact with who's looking to get into sports or the athletic arena as well. So definitely check it out. We're going to have an amazing time. The conference is July 15th and 16th in Atlanta, Georgia. It's going to be at the Atlanta Marquis Hotel. So we are definitely looking to bring awareness to everyone who's interested in the sports field.
Awesome. Sounds like it's going to be an awesome event. Look forward to seeing you there. Of course, us here right in Atlanta, so no reason for us not to stop by and see exactly what's happening with you guys. Dr. Emerald Fulmore, thank you so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate
you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for the Atlanta.
Yes.
Have a great day. Continued success.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Hayes. Thank you again, everyone. Have a great day.